And without further ado, let's get into it. I have been waiting all year to put this video out. I'm so excited to be able to share this with you today. Today, if you couldn't read by the title, we are talking about my 2022 book/reading journal. And let me just show you this from the side because it is thick and I'm so proud of it getting to this point. I never thought I would have a reading journal, and especially not one that was like very full like this. I, in the beginning, did not get very creative with this and was just like plain writing on pages with pen and paper, and that was it. And then I started getting kind of into it and getting more creative and getting some supplies, and it literally turned into this monster journal, and I'm so proud of it. And I'm so excited to show it to you today. It is not completely done, but like mostly done, I would say. Everything's filled out, but there are some pages that I'm still working on in it, which is probably going to take me still a while, and I'm just not rushing myself. I'm just like taking it easy and just like doing it as I feel like I want to do it, just so that I can keep it fun. But all my trackers and like TBRs and like month wrap-ups and all of that is all completed, and I can't wait to show it to you. I did do like a 6-month wrap in my journal back when it was 6 months. And if you would like to see that, you can look up there. But it did not obviously have as much in it as it does now. So I'm really excited to show this to you. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let me show you a little side view because I'm so proud of this side view. I never thought I would have a journal like this, but here it is. So let's get started. I'll probably talk a little in the beginning, and then I might put some music on this because there's a lot to get through here. So here's my Page Jedi and my 2022. This is a note written by my best friend who got me this journal. Then I added this in, and I had to add a lot of pages, so don't judge me on that because I did not have any kind of plan going into this at all. I just completely winged it. This is my first ever book journal. So these were all my 5-star reads of 2022, and I had 3 pages of them, 50 total. Then I had a random TBR. Then I had a random TBR. Then I had I was trying to track my working out. Then I had all the books that I've read, and when I was recording a lot of book reviews, I would highlight them as I went along. So as you can see, I kind of gave up like halfway through because it was just like a lot to keep up with. But I ended up writing out all 100 of the first 100 books that I read last year. Then I just have random TBRs everywhere. This was how I was tracking my book series, but I did such a better tracker. Later on, I'll show you that. Then just like my TBRs, random, like wanted to get to 100 books, so wrote that in there. Same thing, don't know what I was thinking really. My mind was spazzing out because I was so close to 100 and I just like needed to get my thoughts out. So then it kind of got a little bit more organized and I had my TBRs. So here I'm just going to put music, and I'm just going to flip through all of my month spreads. spread for the year. Then I had my Bible reading tracking over here, which I will still be just keeping up with as this year goes on since I already made the whole thing. Then I had my author trackers here, and listen, this all gets better in 2023. If you want to see that video, it will be out soon on my 2023 reading journal. But this was just how I did it this year because, as I said, I was winging it, so don't judge. I don't hate how it came out. I'm glad that I have it at all. I had to add all of these pages, as you can see, but library book sale tickets, I don't want to show them because it has like direct addresses and stuff like that on it. So just privacy reasons, I'm not going to show that page, but that is what's on there. It's just my little tickets that say when the book sale is, like dates and all that type of thing. So then I did a shelf here that all of the books that I bought at the book sale, I put on the shelf, and any books that I bought like in between, like online or anything like that, I also tried to add on here if I had the space. And it should total about 60 books. I think I might have miscounted though, I don't know, but that's on here. And I've been checking them off as I'm reading them. I think I actually have some to check off on here that I have yet to do. These ones were books that were already on my shelf just to begin the year with, so that's why I have 2 in here. And I'll probably just like use these as I go along and just continue checking them off till they're all the way checked off, till I read everything on my shelf, not make new shelves. I don't know. That's my decision right now, but I might change it. These are my series read spreads, and I love them like so much. I haven't seen anyone else do them in this type of a way, but I'm really proud of how they came out. So I would take my whole series, I would write the series name at the top, and then I would write each of the titles in, and then when I was done with the series, I would put a heart next to the book that was my favorite in the series, and then I would do a page count at the bottom of all of the books added together, how many pages it was total. So I finished Disney Villains, I finished Bridgerton, I finished Caraval, I finished Good Girls Guide to Murder. I couldn't get my hands on Killjoy, so I'm just going to call that finished because that's just a novella. I finished American Royals, which she's getting a new book for American Royals this year, so I'm very excited about that. Finished Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Did not finish Crave, but I'll probably be referring back to this tracker as I continue to read these series because I have a couple in here that I have yet to finish. Finished Queen's Shadow. Didn't finish Finley Donovan. Technically I did, but this book comes out this year, so I just threw that in there just to be able to use it this year. Got about halfway through the Shatter Me series, and I actually have Restore Me right now from the library, so I'm hoping to read that probably next month. Finished Lunar Chronicles. This was a really big series to finish this year, so I'm very proud of myself for finishing this. Total page count was 3,138, and it was a ton, but very, very worth the read, and I would highly recommend this series. Got almost halfway through Harry Potter. I am dying to read Goblet of Fire. I just have so many books stacking up and haven't got to it yet. I was planning to start Star Wars novelizations, but never did. So I have the first 2 books in my possession, and hopefully someday soon I will get to these. I read the first 2 books in the Addicted to You series, and then I put the Calloway sisters here too, because they have to be on the same page, of course. And I will slowly be reading this throughout 2023. The next books in this series are pretty long though, so we'll see how I do with that. In the Never After series, I read Hooked, but didn't really like love it. It wasn't amazing to me, and I'm not that excited to continue with it. So we'll see if I even continue. I don't know. It happened one summer. I have Hook, Line, and Sinker on reserve, and hopefully I'll be getting that like next month or the month after from the library, and then I'll be able to finish that one. But that was a really cute series. I like that. Finished the White Girl Problems series. And this is my favorite books of 2022. So every month I would pick a favorite book and they would go on here, and then I would pick a favorite character, and then I would pick a cool quote to go in there with it. So I will just flip through these. I'm not going to read you all of them. If you want to pause them and read them, you go right ahead. Actually, I just realized I didn't put a favorite character or a quote on here yet. I'm going to have to get to that, but at least I have the book in, so that's good. Then I was tracking how many books I was reading, but I ended up running out of room because I ended up reading 153 and I actually didn't even complete filling out the chart. So there's that. But this was fun. This was like a cool way to keep up with things. But I am doing it a little bit different in 2023 that I am liking a lot better. But I'm just like proud that I even had a book journal this year. So this is the way that I did the A to Z challenge. Again, don't really love the layout. I didn't quite get there. I didn't read a V, an X, or a Z, but I read everything else. And this little flap tells you like all the ones that I read, then what they start with and everything. Then I started the Pop Sugar challenge. I actually went back and completed filling this out. I think it's complete. I'm not 100% certain, but I did check off a lot of them. So I thought that that was a good little challenge that I did. And then I wrote the books' names on here and then finished off the challenge here. Just a blank random page there. This was a library tracker that I just threw in here because I really wanted to see how many books I took out of the library and read and how many books from my shelf I read, because I was doing a horrible job at reading books on my actual shelf. As you can see, I read in May. Everything was from the library. Same within June. Almost April, like I read one off my shelf. So I really was trying to get better at this. And as you can see, as the year goes along, I kind of was getting a little bit better at it. So I'm doing this again this year, and I really want to keep up with my library ratio to books on my shelf ratio, because like look here in December I was just reading a ton of library books, which is great. I love library books, but I have a lot on my shelf that I also want to get to. So that's a really good way to keep yourself accountable pretty much. Okay, these definitely have spoilers on these reviews. So if you don't want to see spoilers, don't look at these. But I'm going to flip through these with like music. Some of them are not finished yet. I think I've got about like 30 something of them done, but I was aiming to get 100 of these done for the first 100 books that I read in the year, because this is the first time that I've ever read 100 books in 1 year. So I was trying to get a page done for all of them. So anyway, I'm going to briefly just flip through these, put some music on, and just don't read these big paragraphs that I've written in here if you don't want spoilers. You can read these little quotes, things like this, but definitely just don't read the big ones. So here we go. that is it. That wraps up my 2022 book journal. I hope you enjoyed looking at this with me, and make sure you check out my 2023 book journal video, which will be out soon. And thank you for joining me today, and I will see you on my next video soon. Bye.